Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Come on in. Everybody, come on in. Everybody, good morning. Welcome to Wow Women of Worth, Leadership Journeys of the Least Likely. Come on in. Come on in. I'm excited about today. I'm excited about today's interview. We're going to have an amazing time. For those who do not know me, I am Leontine Oswagwu. I am an ordained minister. I'm a preacher, a teacher of the Word of God. I am a prayer warrior. These are all passions of mine. I'm an author. I am a purpose activation and leadership coach. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. And I also am in leadership in the secular realm as well. So I am excited to be here. So this is our monthly Wow Women of Worth interview. It's a broadcast, and the subtitle is Leadership Journeys of the Least Likely. So, this is our monthly broadcast where I interview some amazing women of God who are moving and shaking in their lanes. We discuss their leadership journeys as well as their personal struggles. We discuss their lessons learned as well as their victories. And the purpose of these interviews is to destroy any types of feelings of inadequacy or intimidation that you may be having as it relates to stepping out into God's purpose for your life, by showing you that today's movers and shakers are women who once sat in your seat and walked in your shoes. And that is what we're trying to accomplish, and to show you that if they can do it, if they can, grab a hold of their destiny and start moving and shaking in their purpose and thrive, you can do it too. So this is the purpose of these interviews. We do this on a monthly basis for a few years now. And today I am excited. I am excited. I am excited. I have the privilege of interviewing an amazing woman of God. She's an amazing leader, and I admire her. She's a tremendous relationship that I have. Her name is Eniola Olawale. She's a great person. We met about a year ago or so when we registered and took the same program. So we had the same coach, the same business coach. So I'm excited that she was willing to come on here. We've connected, and she is one of the smartest women that I have ever met. So, and I choose my words carefully. So we are becoming fast friends, and I love her. She comes from the country, a great country of Nigeria, and I am married, as everybody knows, to one of Nigeria's best sons. The one and only Emeka Uswagu is my husband, and he's from Nigeria as well. So before I bring her up to the stage, I'm going to read her bio. I'm going to read her bio before I invite her to come on so we can begin this interview. So, Eniola Olawale, she's a speaker, she's a consultant, she's a business results accelerator. I love it. She empowers, she equips and ignites busy, multi-talented, and easily distracted corporate professionals who are feeling overwhelmed and short on time to turn their knowledge, their skills into profitable knowledge-based businesses. Eniola, she's a serial entrepreneur with over 25 years of experience in helping C-suite executives, teams, and organizations build their capacity to achieve peak performance in their business goals. For the past 17 years, she's been providing customized solutions exclusively through her own successful consulting practice. She is the CEO of Allure and Confidence Company, a learning concierge and performance acceleration company that specializes in empowering individuals and organizations in knowledge-based services space to reach their full potentials fast. I love this woman of God. She's amazing. She's amazing to me. So without further ado, let's welcome Eniola to the stage. Good morning, my sister. Good morning. Hey, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful. I love your smile. She's such a great smile.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be here. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Before I get into the deeper questions that I typically ask, I want to go lightly as usual. So what gets you up in the morning, my sister? What gets you up in the morning? What are you living for?
I think it's what gets me up in the morning. Just the joy that I'm still around and I'm still here to serve. That gets me going. And then my daughter.
Mm.
Those are the two things. The fact that God is not done with me, yes.
Yeah.
And then for her, oh yes. So those are the reasons I get up in the morning.
I can totally relate to that. Give praise to God first for another opportunity to be in the land of the living and
Oh
not
yes.
feet under, and also for children, right? Yeah, you have a daughter and I have two, so obviously this is they are they are critical in this.
Yes.
Absolutely. So this broadcast is subtitled "Leadership Journeys of the Least Likely."
Hmm.
So what makes you the least likely in your estimation from a biblical standpoint?
And looking around the world, I guess we're a couple of billions, like 7 billion plus. Even the fact that I get to be born,
Hmm.
least likely, how many of those cells were swimming around, and how many of those eggs, and how many of them actually become human, and how many of them get to live and experience the favor and the mercy of God.
Hmm.
I am privileged. I am exceptionally grateful to be here in the first place to have ever existed. So
Hmm.
that's what I think I am the least likely.
Amen. It's just thinking about how faithful God has been, how faithful God has been in the midst of everything, right? That each and every
Yes.
one has gone through. We have survived, and now we are thriving. And seeing that there's nothing special about us, really. There's nothing
Nothing.
special about us. Nothing makes us more special than anyone else, right? Than those
True.
who don't have the same opportunities, and those who are in hospitals and things like that, and who have terrible circumstances. Nothing really separates us from these people besides the grace of God, right? Apart from the grace of God and His faithfulness in our lives. So that's really profound. Now think
Thank
about that.
you.
Yes. So, who is the person who's had the greatest impact on your life and why?
My dad, that's my dad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a daddy's girl. He's the love of my life. My dad is nearly 90.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason he's had such a profound impact on me is looking at his story. He's the first son, he's the first child. All the responsibility of the family was on his shoulders, not just the nuclear, being an African, the extended family, and how he bore that with grace.
Mm.
He inspires me, and he's always in my corner. With him, I could get away with anything. So he's my motivation, he's my inspiration. And I look at him and I say, if he could, I can.
Mm. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, my father was a great inspiration to me as well. He passed last year. Passed last year. But yeah,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
that's okay. Especially us daughters, we have this sweet spots for our daddies, and I can
Yes.
definitely relate to that. And he's been such a great inspiration for me too, and kind of like the force that's kind of pushing me forward, even though he's no longer around. So I could definitely relate to that for sure. Um, so
Thanks.
You are the CEO of Allure and Confidence Company. And your bio talks about it, and it's a learning concierge and a performance company. So tell our audience about who you help and what you help them do.
I help experts and professionals that would like to make a transition from being full-time employees to actually monetizing their own expertise outside organizations as full employees. And what I help them do is develop those entrepreneurship skills because it's actually a journey. They can't make that leap because it's a different way of thinking. It's like speaking in Hebrew is not the same thing as speaking in English. It's a different way of thinking. So typically we help them. Sorry, I missed what you said.
No, I said absolutely. It's a different kind of animal. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
So true. So what would help them to do typically is start with building entrepreneurial skills so they can flourish within their organizations and be self-starting, and then move that to entrepreneurship, and then move that to them actually stepping out of the organization and building very profitable and sustainable service-based businesses very quickly. That's what we do.
That is awesome. So so for those of us who are listening, if you are professional and want to not only thrive as a professional, but eventually kind of gradually go outside and create your own service-based business, then this is something that is really the focus of her business. So so yeah, that's and I know from just having conversations with you since we connected about a year or so ago, just having conversations with you are just such a smart person to be connected to. Like she's a wealth of knowledge. Her wisdom is unbelievable. So so she's I can definitely vouch for her for her wisdom and the character and all of the skills and experience that she has. So she's really, really good. So thank you for that.
Thank you. You're really kind.
So I want us to kind of get to know you a little better. So talk to us about your childhood and what is it that you growing up you dreamt about becoming when you grew up? And why?
Childhood. Childhood. I'm the second of 6 children, and it was a lot of play growing up. I have an elder sister, 3 younger brothers, and then the youngest is a girl. And that was a lot of fun. And my parents were incredibly loving, are still. And yeah, but they were also like all African parents, I guess, super strict. School comes first. Being great in academics, then being respectful. You know, those things you just got to go into. And I wanted to be an architect. That was my passion. That's what I wanted. Yeah, then I encountered my mother, who studied town and regional planning, and told me it's not a. My mother always felt, still does, that you need to study something that you could go out and get and create a job for yourself. So just in case you don't get employed, it doesn't put you like a hole. So yeah, I didn't study architecture because of that. And the reason I wanted to study architecture was because I wanted to create things. I wanted to design things. I wanted to pull things out of nothing and bring what's in my head into reality. I still use the same skills right now as a consultant. So yes. So I didn't lose it all.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I do see that obviously you have this creative mind and you like to build things and you do that very successfully in your line of work as well. So it's interesting that whatever God has put on the inside of us, even though we may not do it to the T, the skills and the the skills that He has given us that are transferable in many of the things that we'll end up doing. Even though we may not do that exact thing. When we were a child, you dreamt about being an architect. Even though you didn't come out and be an actual architect, you are still leveraging that thing that God has put on the inside of you to do what you're doing today. That creativity is still there, and you're leveraging that as a business owner to impact people. So that is yeah. I wanted to be a flight attendant. I wanted to be a flight attendant. Simply because I love these people when we traveled, because we traveled a lot as children because of my father's business and his work. And I just love these people. They catered to us and they served us and they were smiling. They were always pretty and all of that kind of stuff. So I aspired to be a flight attendant. Obviously, that didn't go that route, but that's um that's something that I wanted to do personally. So that's my spiel about that. So so you are a serial entrepreneur of over
Hmm.
25 years. So talk to us about that journey. How did you get started and how many companies did you start and how did you end up where you are today?
Let's see. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. My father's influence once more, and my mother's prompting.
Mhm.
Yes, I'm my parents' child every way I look. And my first job was in logistics. And then that was for like 6 months. And then I got into telecommunications, and it was just breaking up in Nigeria back then. So it
Mhm.
was the perfect job to have. But I told myself from the beginning that I didn't want to get caught in being an employee.
Mm.
So I made up my mind that I was going to stay for 5 years. So the, on the fifth year anniversary of when I started work, I resigned.
Oh, wow.
I did. And I think I had a push also because my organization was going through restructuring and I was in business optimization and training. That was my unit. And we
Uh-huh.
were going to, and for like 6 months, we were in limbo. We had a new CEO. We didn't know where we were going. And there
Oh.
was this rumor they were going to merge us with HR. I didn't like HR. I like consulting, not HR.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then the period while that was going on, I was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
And and I was thinking, this is the longest time for me to lose my job.
I know.
Because as a family, my husband's income, my income wasn't going to be enough.
Right.
Without his wasn't going to be enough without mine. So I was thinking. And then I started my first business, which was a jewelry business.
Mhm.
Because I just felt I love good jewelry. And I don't really get very good jewelry that
Mhm.
is good quality apart from gold. So I started jewelry business and I knew nothing about it apart from the fact that I loved it. I love jewelry. And
Mhm.
then that took its toll. Business is still in existence
Okay.
right now. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's like 20 years ago.
Okay.
And then I started the second business subsequently out of my need also. I wanted good skincare products, couldn't find one. I had breakouts. So I remember as a child I used to use Avon.
Mhm.
So I got in touch, looked for my aunt in the United States, found her. She was an Avon lady.
Mhm.
So yeah, started Avon. Now that business is still also in
Oh,
existence
wow.
right now. Yeah, still have an Avon.
Avon lady myself.
Oh, hi. It's amazing small world, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then really small. And at that point, as I said, I resigned on the fifth anniversary, and that was like 17 years ago
Wow.
now. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I started freelance consulting and have been on my own since then. And that's when I started my third business, which was offering my training and consulting skills as a freelancer.
Yes.
And then 2 years down the line, I don't know why I had this crazy thought that I should go into sweets and candy because I had a child. So I started selling sweets and candies, but that I have closed down.
Okay.
No, wasn't a thing.
Wasn't it? That wasn't it.
No, it wasn't a thing. No.
Oh, wow. So you are really, really, you really have what they call the Midas touch, right? You start businesses and it flourishes and it goes on. And so this is something back to what I was saying, right? Your wisdom and your creativity and all of those things have helped you create so many businesses and sustain them for years. So this is definitely a gift. This is definitely a gift from God. So I'm excited, to have you and to be connected with you for sure.
Thank you.
Mm. So, in your opinion, what is the greatest challenge about being an entrepreneur, and how do you deal with that challenge?
Uh, it's the uncertainty. There are no
Mm,
assurances.
yes.
And the biggest part is for me, I think it's lesson I've learned is don't start a business because you love the product. You should have a route to market. If you have a route to market, then it will be less stressful because the uncertainty is then diminished because you know that people that want your products and you know how to get them on demand. And I think that's the challenge most of us face as entrepreneurs. Where do we find the people that need this product? So we have a ready market for our outputs. And that I think is what keeps us up at night because we're not sure if the business will be there in the next 2 years, the next 5 years, and this is our means of livelihood.
Yeah, so break it down a little bit, flesh it out. When you say having a route to market, what does that really mean for our audience?
Okay, what? Sorry. Jargon from a consultant. My apologies. What it means is, do you know who needs your products? Do you know where they are in large numbers? Do you have the ability to connect with them on demand so that you're the natural choice for them for that particular product?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because if people don't know you, they don't know that you exist, they don't know that you can meet their need, you don't know where to find them. So it's basically as good as not having a business, right? Because it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
No.
You have to find the people who want to buy from you and who need what you have to offer.
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks so much for sharing that. So what advice do you have and you touched upon it a little bit. What advice do you have to give to someone who wants to step into entrepreneurship and is afraid of doing that?
Don't be afraid. You're gonna make mistakes anyway. So don't be afraid. Take it easy. Step in one foot at a time, don't jump in with both feet. One foot at a time. And then I think what has worked for me is find where people that are doing what you want to do exist in large numbers. When you're in their midst, even when you're scared, their energy, their success, their enthusiasm would spur you on. So find a community of people that can support you, because that support will keep you going when things look tough. And they will look tough at some point.
Yeah, that's really powerful. That last part when you say find a community of people who are doing what you want to do or what you're doing, and build a community, right? Share and engage and and do all of those things. So that's very, very important. Because what I found for myself and for my husband, as we are also coaches, along with our secular jobs, we the mental the mental aspect of things, the mindset is really critical. The mindset is really critical if you want to succeed as an entrepreneur. You have to really make sure that you have the right mindset, and connecting to people within the same line of work and the same communities can help you with your mindset. You can be encouraged. You can learn from other people's mistakes, and you can find the faith when you're discouraged and all of that kind of stuff. You can see that you're not the only one struggling, right, with certain things, and people can really help you. That's why it's critical. So so that's very, very important, because I think what takes us down a lot of times is the mindset. Is the mental realm, because the skills can be taught, right? The skills, we attend programs, we have coaches and mentors and all of those things, and we can learn the tactical skills. But when we talk about the mindset, that's really what can take us down. Even though you can be as good as you can be with your skills, if your mindset is not at the right place, that'll bring you down ultimately. What do you have to say about that?
You're so right. You can buy the skills, but you can't buy the mindset. You can only develop it. They're like muscles.
Absolutely.
That is like muscles.
Absolutely.
And it's in the Bible. As a man thinketh, so easy. You can't go beyond the boundaries you set in your own mind, no matter how hard you try. You need to put them down first.
Exactly. You cannot go beyond the boundaries that you have set for yourself in your mind. That is powerful. That is a powerful quote. So yeah, so that's important. Thank you so much for sharing that. So what is the worst mistake that you've ever made, and what did you learn from it?
My worst mistake is holding myself back because I don't think I'm enough when I face a challenge or when I'm called to take up an opportunity and I feel I've never done this before. And it's repeated itself in so many different ways in my life. It's a new job, it's a new project, it's a new place, it's a new vision. And it keeps on repeating itself. So it's still work in progress. It's me telling myself, you don't have to be enough. God is enough. You just show up. My path is to show up. He connects the dots. Because if I ever think I'm enough, I mean, there's a prayer I say right now because of that. Anytime I say creeping up, I go, there's this portion in the Bible. I think it is Jairus that was speaking to Jesus, and Jesus said, do you believe that your son can be healed? And I said, I believe, help my own belief.
Yes.
So
that's powerful.
When the fear creeps up right now, I go, I can do this. Lord, you got my back. Because I have said any door you open, I'm going to walk. Yes. I have walked away from too many doors out of fear, and I have learned not to do that anymore.
Yes, that's powerful. That's powerful. You have to do it in spite of fear. And you have to remember that Jesus said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. So, we stumble. Bible also says that a just man falls 7 times, but he gets back up again, right? So, so there's going to be some falls. There's going to be some trips and some bruises and things like that. But God will help us always stand back up again and grab a hold of ourselves and keep moving, right? Because if we allow fear and all of those things, like I said, back to mindset, if we allow all those things to plague us, it can really stifle everything that God has put on the inside of us, and we won't be able to move forward. So that's really, really that's really, really good. So I believe my next question, I believe that the greatest leaders are lifelong learners. And so what are you learning, or what are you trying to perfect right now in your life?
What I'm working actually on right now in my life is, and it has to do with the last 2 questions I think you've asked me, which is the business. What is the biggest challenge in business? And then also what is my biggest regret? And that's the book I'm reading right now is called 100 Million Leads, $100 Million Leads by Alex Inozi. And it's talking about how you can go out and get leads. And for me,
I have that book.
You do.
I do.
We share too many things in common, don't we?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh my gosh.
And the reason I'm reading it, number one, is, I used to think service was all about me. So when I feel I'm inadequate, I stop. But then I've learned that it's not about me. It's about all people out there that need what I can help them to achieve so they can move to the next level. Because there's something they can help me achieve. But if I don't help them, they can't help me and everybody else. It's all about the contribution. So that is why I got into this book. And it's about everything in life. In everything we're doing, we're looking for people that we can support. It's all about contribution, even beyond business.
Yes, that's powerful. Yeah, so I totally agree with that. I totally agree with the book. I bought the book simply because I was in, the kind of what you talked about, right? You have to know where to find your people, who's going to get what you have, who wants to purchase what you have what you have to offer, and all of that kind of stuff. And so the reason I purchased that book is to help me when kind of give guidance and all of that kind of stuff, to give clarity on where to go get the people that you need to get, and how to get a successful business. Because if you don't have if you don't know, there's no people, there's no business. So and like you said, it works in any kind of relationship, really. You need people to buy into what you have to offer, regardless of what the relationship is, right? So so that's a great book, even if you're not in sales or service-based businesses as well. I really like that. So yeah. So knowing what you know now, what advice would you give to your 20-year-old self? Hmm.
Take it easy. Don't be
Mm.
so hard on yourself. You can't be perfect. You're gonna mess up, but you've got a God that's got your back.
Mhm.
You can't be perfect. And trust a known God,
Mm.
even when you don't know what the future holds. He is bigger than the future. You'll
Mm.
be okay.
You'll be okay. Take it easy. I love that. Take it easy. Don't beat yourself up too hard, right? You're only human.
Yes. And enjoy your humanity and
Mhm.
remember to play. Don't judge
Mm.
yourself too hard.
Yeah, remember to have fun also in the process. Because we are, we are multifaceted, right? We're not just one thing. So we're not only business women, we're not only career people, professionals. We have different aspects of ourselves. And if we just, you know, pursue and pursue and pursue just one aspect of ourselves and neglect the other stuff, then, that's how we crash. That's how we crash. And sometimes we just need to let our hair down, take it easy, and breathe, right? Breathe. And that's something I have to say to myself all the time, right? Because and you know that I just moving, and things like that. And sometimes God tells me, I know I have put a lot in you. I know that there's a lot of you have a great capacity to do multiple things at the same time. But sometimes you got to slow down and breathe a little bit, and take care of yourself. And He's been doing that to me, and I've been trying to find a little bit of balance. So I know you have uh, a daughter. I know you have a daughter. I know you are a mother. I know you have a whole lot of things going on. Uh, so how do you find that balance with everything that's going on? And I know your daughter is overseas. How do you manage that? Because I have a son that's going to get ready to go to college outside of my house.
How does that feel? Knowing he's going to be away from home?
Yeah, I have really computed that in my mind quite. Yeah. Hasn't fully registered. So I'm just looking for some advice and how do you manage that motherhood at a distance and all of those kind of things, as well as finding balance between being a mother and all of the other stuff that you're doing.
Um, it's tough. That's still work in progress. I
Mhm.
think for me, my first job, and I'm a mother hen, is being a mom. So I drop everything when the phone rings and it's her.
Mhm.
Unless I'm in a situation, I'm in a meeting, I can't step out of and I'll send a message. Well, she's my utmost priority. And at times I feel stretched, especially when she's making a lot of demands. But I guess at the end of the day, I mean, let's look at the next 30, 40 years. We're in our 70s and 80s. You don't
Right.
care about the jobs anymore.
I
It's
know.
all about the child.
Yes.
Um, I've worked on our relationship, and we have a very, very good relationship. So I still move between being a mom and being a friend.
Yes, I know, right? Don't get it twisted now. Okay.
Oh yeah, I tell her, and then she goes, "But you told me you're my friend." I said, "Don't get it wrong. I'm not your friend, my friend. I'm your mom. And right now,
Exactly.
you do what you know."
Mhm.
Um, it's as they grow older, I guess they start to understand that being an adult is not a walk in the park. It's a
Mm.
huge challenge, and they start to value the advice a lot more.
Yes.
And they need their friend. And there are times I tell you, I don't need a friend. I want my mom.
Mm.
So I want my mom. I want you to scold me and then tell me what to do. I don't need a friend. I've got a lot of that. I
Yes.
want my mom.
Mm.
And it's a beautiful relationship.
I
It
love
has its oh sorry, I cut into what you were about to say.
I love it. Go ahead. Keep going.
So it's always been in touch with them. And there are times I go to her for advice and I go, like I mean, before this call, I told her, hey, what do you think? I want to wear this. And she goes, yeah, okay. I think you're gonna look bleached, but try it. And I think they feel like they're contributing also when we do that. When we show our vulnerability, they go, Mommy's not superwoman. There are times that she actually needs me. And I need to get my act together, because if I don't, I'm giving her much more to handle. And she's already handling a lot. So that also helps her to step into that role of being an adult. I need to look after me so my mom can be good, so my dad can be good.
Yes, that's powerful. Because children evolve, right? Children evolve. So I have a 12-year-old daughter who's really into her phone and into her friends and all of that kind of stuff. It's almost like we are a nuisance in her life, right? Because she's kind of getting to the point where she wants a little bit of independence and all that. But then at times, there's always this, reverting back to, you feel it when that time happens where they're crawling back to when they want you to be mommy again, even though most of the time they don't. They want you, to leave them alone to their phone and always in their room. But you can sense that when they really need you to be mommy for them as well. And my son, and it's good how you said about, sometimes you feel that they're becoming more mature and some things are clicking more and they begin to use wisdom. And you're like, oh my goodness, I never thought I'd see this day where this would come out of your mouth, right? So, and I'm going through a little bit of that with my oldest son too. So that's awesome. And you said prioritize, right? Prioritize them regardless of what it is that you're involved in, unless it's really critical meeting or whatever. Prioritize them because they need to feel prioritized for sure. So that's awesome. Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So we're getting ready to end. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time. But let me what last words of advice do you want to give our audience? Because we're talking to some women who have this great call on their life and they want to, step out and just build their businesses, build their ministries, just change the world. But there's some inadequacies. There's maybe some things that are kind of discouraging them when they look at their life, when they look at what they have, what they don't have, and all of those things going on, all this mental thing again, a mindset things going on. So what do you have to say to our audience before we part?
I'd like to say three things from my personal experience and story. The first one is you're enough. You're enough.
Yeah.
Your backstory was all about yesterday. Tomorrow has nothing to do with yesterday because you've got today. Sit today and make a decision. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And what resources do I need to become or to achieve what I need to? And those resources are available. And when we look in the Bible, remember the prophets whose son who owed money and his sons were being taken. And then the sons went to, I think it was Elisha or Elijah, I can't remember. I mixed those prophets together. And he said, okay, we're coming to your house. What do you have? He said, oil. Go borrow lots of vessels. He multiplied the oil.
Yes.
Same thing. Jesus at the wedding feast. What do you have? Water. He turned it into wine.
Yes.
Bread and fish. He split it. What you have? There's a lot of spoilage in your tillage. You're just hiding when you think there's something you don't have you need to get. You can start with what you've got. You're enough. That's the second thing. The third thing is you can't do it alone. You can't. You need to find a community of people that are like-minded that can hold you up. And it's contribution. You're going to give and they're going to give. And by you giving, you're going to get better. And they would also help you. Where you're weak, they're strong. Where they're strong, you're weak. We grow together. I'm African. There's an African proverb that says, you want to go fast, grow alone. You want to go far, go together.
Yes, I love it. I love
it. It's your tribe. And you can do this. And then lean and rest on God. You're going to burn out. You can't do it alone. You need people. You need Him. You need His wisdom. You need His direction. Don't worry. Even when you think you're slow and you're messing up, when you look backwards, you find out the dots are connecting. Just show up. Just keep on showing up. You are good. And don't judge yourself by the past. Your past. Everybody's got one.
Yes.
Don't judge yourself by your past.
That's powerful. Everybody's messed up. Everybody's screwed up.
Yes.
Yeah, we just have to focus on moving forward and not looking at the, looking backwards, right? So that's so profound what you said. I love those points. So I hope that folks are taking notes. This has really been a great time of this great discussion and a lot of nuggets, a lot of great nuggets that were dropped. So I'm excited that you accepted to come and be a part of this discussion. So one last thing before we go. So take about a minute or so and promote yourself, promote your business. Let us know about your services, how the folks can connect with you, etc. So because I know that you have a lot to offer and I want the people to be able to benefit from that.
Thank you so much for the privilege. As Allure and Confidence, what we do is we'll help you make a transition from being scared in a job you're not certain about because you're just an employee to owning one you can actually hand over as a legacy to your future generations, children, family members, friends, one you can control your growth and your progress. And we actually have a gift for everyone on this particular broadcast, and you can get it at that's wow.alert.confidence.com, and it's there, it's yours. And anyway, we can help. We're glad to, because we're all about you. We have so much to give, and we cannot wait for you to give it all.
Awesome.
Blessings.
Thank you so much. So we're gonna put the address of where they can go get the gift. We're gonna put that in the chat. And then folks, we invite you to, get that free gift. I know it's going to really make a difference in your life. Like I said earlier, she's a wealth of resources, wealth of knowledge, and she does know what she's talking about. So
Thank you so much.
you are so
Yes.
welcome. Yep,
Thanks,
absolutely.
my sister.
Oh, thank you so much
God bless you.
for agreeing to be here. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being with us. Share this broadcast. Share this broadcast because I know that folks who are not here need this, need what we shared in this interview. They need this, and they need to connect with our guest, with Eniola. So again, thank you so much for being a part of us. Thank you everybody for watching, and meet us again next month for another session of Wow Women of Worth Leadership Journeys of the Least Likely. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye,
God bless
everyone.
you. Bye. Thanks for your team.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.